Now we can I think I originally used a photo of someone that had some nice shadows on their face for my lighting here. And so we can just use that original for reference here. So I'm just going to grab this color. Now I want you to notice something here when we start comparing these colors to each other. I want you to notice, I'm not going to get into a whole huge color theory thing here because we could be here all day, but how those colors relate to each other. You are never under any circumstance in art going to pick one color. You know, it just doesn't really happen. That color needs to work with something. It needs to work with something else. And so even something as simple as, a light and shadow on skin, there's a relationship there. If I look at the color picker here, and the actual skin tones are relevant, but if I look at where we are here, like her base skin tone right now is, kind of a middle light orange type color, And the next stage of highlights are, all the way bright as you can get. And I don't know, about halfway to white, That's kind of how I think about it. It's like, well, we didn't go all the way to white. We went halfway, and that was enough to get a pretty nice stage of color there. What you don't want to get in a habit of is, starting with a base and then go, okay, it's time for some highlights, and then go, boop. And, now maybe this could look okay, but you don't want every decision to be these subtle little moves. Sometimes you want to make a bold highlight somewhere. You want to make a bold decision. Don't be afraid to really swing this around over here. There's a lot to play with in your color choices. But the biggest advice, again, is to remember you're never picking a color in a vacuum. You can very quickly usually figure out if a color is the right color just by comparing it to everything that's there on the canvas already. So, for example, in this case, she's in a very clinical environment, and that's kind of part of the story. And so I did something that I rarely do, which is use highlights and base colors that are very close to the same hue. Okay, I didn't do a lot of shifting, to make the light yellow or cooler or anything, because a clinical setting is one setting where your light is usually very white. It's very clear. There's not a lot of color in it. And so I intentionally strayed away from tinting the light source very much here, which is probably the only place in the book that I do this, is to really sell that clinical environment. So not necessarily good advice for most environments. If it's sunny, you want a little bit of warmth in your light. If it's nighttime, maybe cool it off, or, a lot of ways to do that. But again, I'm going to start by going to my selection. Going to make sure I'm in automatic mode and click her skin. And this is a little bit messy because I got I had to do some resizing on this earlier, and it should stay under the line. Shouldn't really affect it too much. But if you notice a little bit of screw ups there, I think those are my fault, not yours. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get that hand. We'll get that arm too. So now we've got all the skin that we're ready to render here. I'm going to switch to my brush, and I'm still just on a normal layer right now on top of my colors. And I could, on this normal layer, go in with the chosen skin tone here, and started filling this in normal mode, and it would look fine. But just to change things up and give you guys a different way of doing this, I'm going to start a new layer, and this time I'm going to use a different layer mode. I'm going to click the layer in, and you got a couple different modes here, and I'm going to set this to, let's try hard light mode. This is my favorite blending mode. It's very handy, and I think you'll see why here. So hard light mode is very unique in that if you pick a color that is above the 50% gray point here, okay? If it's above that point, it's going to lighten, okay? And that wasn't very light. Let's go lighter. Lighten. And if you go below the 50% point, it darkens. So it's very handy to do all of your lights and shadows on one layer if that's what you want to do. But I even use it when I do separate layers because it's convenient and easy to work with for me. So let's see what this looks like. Again, this should pretty much matches pretty closely with what was there before, right? And so we can go with that. Or, again, just to change things up a little bit today, we can, maybe we cool it off. Start pulling it across toward yellow, and that gives a little bit of a different vibe. Or we could slide it toward warm, get a little bit warmer, so it's a brighter, warmer color. Doesn't look bad either. So anyway, any light in this color range is probably going to look pretty cool. You know, even if I go with like a really cool light, you know, we get some really strong contrast there. You know, if that's what you're going for, it's all about the feel. There's no right or wrong answer here. But just to match up what was there before, we'll go with something that is, probably about right. If it's too bright, just bring it down. Bring it down. You want to save a little room for those bright highlights, the brightest highlights. So I think I like that right there. And now I can start painting in my highlights. And we kind of look at what was there before, or we can do something different. And I'm not worried about splashing anywhere or going outside the lines because I've got that selection, right? So even if I go crazy, I can't go outside those lines. Switch to the eraser and clean this up a little bit. Can start adding some harder edges on some of these shadows under her glasses, maybe. Under her nose. So even with the eraser, I'm still, to an extent, still rendering. Just cleaning it up while I'm doing it. Switch back to my brush, and I'm gonna leave a little room for her shadow there. Collarbones. And just kind of a hint of her chest there. One of the cool things about working on a separate layer like this, sorry, I just realized that I changed that to screen at some point by accident. Maybe that's why that wasn't behaving exactly like I intended. That's funny. Yeah, different tone in hard light mode. But this brings me to my point anyway. In hard light mode, we need to shift the color. So again, I'm going to go to Adjustments, Hue, Saturation, Brightness. We can brighten that up. And you can see how in hard light mode, it all will brighten all the way to white. Or it'll pass through the color we chose and then start getting darker. So it works either way. Now again, these aren't good shadow shapes. These are good light shapes though. But I can do this after the fact. So let's put it like right there. We can still shift the color, which I don't think it needs. We can saturate it, we can desaturate it. Which again, maybe we saturate it a little bit. It's a little bit different vibe this time. Now, here's another trick for you. Since this is on its own layer, these light shapes are on their own layer, right? If you hold down that checkbox, we can isolate those. You can see, if you turn the background off, you can see them. So we can use this shape as a selection tool. So let me turn this all back on by holding that checkbox over there. So I'm going to 2-finger hold on that layer. And what it does is it makes a selection based on what's in that layer, which in this case are those light shapes, right? So now I can use that as a selection. Now I could do this on a new layer, or I could do this on the same layer. I'll do it on a different layer. So let's say I want my specular reflections to be a little cooler. Now I can paint across here, and you can see that it's staying contained to where my light was, right? So this is really handy when you get around to wanting to add some brighter highlights. So if I'm starting here with this, bright yellow color, maybe we go to here, maybe we go a little bit more yellow. And now I can paint here very safely, staying inside that original shape without having to worry about going outside the lines. It's very, very fast. And it's a very quick way to get a lot of detail in very quickly without really feeling like you did a whole lot.